What is up, everybody? Welcome to HCS Source episode number 8. My name is Active, and with me, I've got an amazing guest, the same guest every single time. His name is YNOT Be Casting. Tony, tell him something.
Am I still a guest? I run this guest. Stuff. I don't even know what you're talking about. Why not be reckless? AK, why not be casting? I'm kind of a freaking big deal. If you don't know, now you know.
And now I know. Now I know he's not a guest. He's a big deal. He is HCS Source. But Tony, I'm curious because it's been a long day today. I didn't get to stream, dude. Unfortunately, but not Why? Unfortunately because Carrie's birthday was today. And you might ask, I'm a 34-year-old man. I'm an old guy. You might ask, how old is Carrie? And she's going to be really mad at me for telling everyone this, but she is 43 years old today. I am dating a beautiful, incredible cougar. Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. I love her. I love her to death. She's great. But yes, Carrie turns 43 today. Happy birthday to my beloved Carrie. And she had a great day. Weren't able to do extravagant things, but one day I will be able to do extravagant things, and I'm excited for that day. It's coming. Maybe in like 5 or 6 years, but it's coming, okay? And I'm excited for that. But that was pretty much my day. We did a little birthday thing with the kids, and we had a cake, and we watched Harry Potter on the Phoenix. I forgot which one. I'm sorry. I love Harry Potter, but I just forgot the name of it. Watched Harry Potter, and I got to have some chicken wings, and everyone else ate really big junk food, and I couldn't have cake, and it was weird. I'm on keto, for those of you guys that don't know. But anyway, yeah, that was my day. It was good. And now I'm here. I made some time for this because I love HCS Source. We've got a lot to talk about. Tony, I want to hear about your day. I'm sure it was riddled with crazy busy streaming, content creation, freaking tell us about it.
Well, first of all, let me start off by saying, number one, I don't know how you call yourself a Harry Potter fan. There's something Phoenix. I forgot.
That's Do you know
really
what it
bad.
Is? Do you know?
That's number one. Number two, I'm gonna need you to watch your mouth, okay? Because mind you, Carrie's absolutely gorgeous, wonderful woman, absolutely amazing. Puts up with this guy.
Wow.
And you keep talking the way you are, and you're gonna lose her. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. Tim, we're friends, right?
Be honest.
We're friends, right?
Yes,
you're
we're
my
friends.
brother. You're my homie.
Yes, absolutely.
You're not gonna find anyone as good as Carrie.
I agree.
So you watch your mouth.
I agree.
You watch your mouth.
I was talking good about her, dude. I didn't say. I was only saying nice things. She's an older woman, and I like older women because they're more mature. No offense to younger women. And I was, there's no bad words. Okay. She's great.
Okay, I'm making sure. I'm
Absolutely.
making sure.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell her that you defended her here, and she's gonna be so happy. She already loves you to death. But anyway, yes. So I want to know honestly about your day. I know that you every day you're grinding. I would love to know how your day went. Like how maybe I'm sure you streamed. How was your viewership and stuff like that? Are things looking good for you?
Yeah, it was amazing. I woke up, I went back to my 10 o'clock in the morning grind instead of 11 o'clock in the morning, doing 10 o'clock in the morning every morning now. Rise and grind, baby. And the viewership was insane. The community was absolutely incredible. We had some trolls and we had some fun with that. We had some great vibes. Was able to climb up a little bit as far as matchmaking and the ranks. And I'm living the dream, man.
Awesome.
I got off maybe around after maybe 6 hours or so, and I took a nap and then played a little bit of Apex afterwards. I really wish I would got some chores done. Like there's some cleaning I have to do, some packing I have to do, especially because I want to move soon.
It's been a month.
So I was supposed to move last month, so I really wish I would have got some of that done. But other than that, life is great, man.
Awesome.
I'm living the dream, man. I'm living the dream.
I love to hear
Happy birthday, Carrie, by the way. I feel like I went through all this runaround. I never said, so I want to wish Carrie officially a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Carrie. Yeah, she had a good day, I think. I gave her a little, it was a little cute idea. I wrote these like letters, and then on the envelopes, I put them in envelopes, and on the envelopes it says like, open when you're having a bad day, or open when you're sad, or open when you're happy, or open when we're fighting, or open blah, 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 blah. And I thought it was kind of cool. That was my gift to her. Nothing crazy. But, she likes those creative things that like take time, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So that was cool. And the kids all wrote her letters as well. But that was pretty much my day. I didn't get to do any streaming today, which is all good. But last night I did a lot of streaming with Halo, and I was using controller for the second half of the night, and I actually put my paddles on the back of my controller for the very first time using a PowerA. It's the controller that was given to us by PowerA. I kind of like it. It's pretty good. I put the paddles on the back of it, and I am just so happy with this. I talked about so much where keyboard and mouse is so free and it's just so flowing, and you can turn on a dime. Your movement's incredible. The only thing that people have a trouble with is the shooting, and I've never really had trouble with that, just because I've just put a lot of time in. It's not because I'm special. It's just literally because even before MCC came out on PC, I just put a lot of time into it. So I've just got that muscle memory and stuff like that. But the one thing about controller that I always hated is I just felt like I was tied up and restricted. And I'm realizing now that's because I didn't have any paddles on the thing, because I put them away. They were bulky. I didn't really so I put the paddles away. I put them on last night, and oh my goodness, man, I was having so much fun. I think I'm on the way to Onyx already.
Nice. Having
a blast with it. Just a really great time. And like Tony says all the time, the controller definitely fits my play style. So, So yeah, I was doing that on stream and people were liking it. But speaking of Halo content creation, I kind of want to talk about the state of it. Where it's kind of at right now, and where we think it's going to be in 3 years. Because 3 years time, a lot of people say that Halo is going to be back on top again, that a lot of these problems will be fixed. Well, let's talk about your journey, Tony, because I know you did. You started off casting, and then I remember when you started streaming, and you were getting right before Infinite came out, you were getting 50 viewers a stream and stuff like that. You're doing really well. And then Halo Infinite came out, and you saw a really big drop. Talk to me a little bit about that transition from Halo 5 into Halo Infinite, and now, because you've grinded so much, where you're at today. Let's talk a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, I mean, like you kind of alluded to, it's been really up and down for me as a content creator, and me being so new into the space, just trying to understand the field, trying to define who I am as a creator, and I feel like I'm still doing that every single day. When I never thought I would be streaming ever. No, I think I'd never be streaming. I just, I was always an enjoyer of content. I was always in everybody's stream. I used to watch Contra every single day while I was at work. Don't tell my old boss. I used to watch all of these pros while they were streaming, while I was working. And eventually I got into casting when I came back to competing. And with that, it kind of casting and content creation kind of went hand in hand. And I didn't know anything about editing or anything about YouTube. So I was like, okay, that might not be the direction for me, at least back then I thought. So I said, let me, just do streaming. And I was able to find a little bit of success. I started streaming on my Xbox for
I didn't know that.
long time.
That's awesome.
It took me a while to get my PC, and then even when I got my PC, it was so bad. Eventually, I started doing the whole Xbox to the PC, and I started to find some growth. That toward the end of Halo 5, everybody kind of knew who I was, because I was a caster, but I was also a grassroots caster. Anything that was involved with cast, there was no real money into it. And I was doing straight for passion. I was barely getting paid for any events. And then I had done one HCS Open. One HCS. It was called the Open back then. And I did one of those right before Halo Infinite comes down. That's who really started to get to know me. Not just the grassroots scene, but some of the casual community as well. And it was phenomenal. It really was. When Halo Infinite dropped, it was an eye opener, because I got to see how saturated a popular game is.
Yeah.
And I had a Halo 5 base, but when you bring in the Halo MCC, the old Halo 3, the whole and everybody coming back together, I was a very small fish in a giant pond, and it was tough. It really was. And when it comes to content creation, it's gonna drive you crazy. And the best I could tell you is turn that viewer count off and do everything you can to control what you can control. Mm-hmm. Turn the viewer count off. Put on the best possible content you can. Put it on YouTube, put it on Twitter, share what you got to do. Don't worry about the growth of this next creator and this other guy because he's blowing up for whatever reason. He's like it's easy. It's so hard to not compare yourself to other because everybody's journey is different. And I was over here like, am I going to be able to make it? Like, I'm not as good as X, Y, and Z. I'm not as funny as X, Y, and Z. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, ABC does. And I'm still trying to learn. And the moment I gave that up and said, look, I'm just going to go out there. I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to do what I got to do. Eventually I started to grow a little bit. And eventually, obviously, Halo Infinite took a bit of a dip, but that really helped me because I started getting more towards the front page. You know how it is. Once you get to that front page, that first 2 rows, it's easier for people to click on you. So that's when it started to happen. I started to rise, 30 viewers, 50 viewers. Now my average is 65.3.
Ooh,
but that's with me casting. That's why we streaming on very off days and very off times because the last 7 days I'm actually number 8. In all of Halo Infinite streamers. Crazy. I broke the top. Awesome. I cracked the top 10, which is insane.
That's great.
And
Congratulations.
Every stream is 100 viewers and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like it just came from turning off my viewer count, doing what I need to do to create a base and create a family, and treating them like legitimate family. And then there's also outside things I do, Twitter, YouTube. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to grow on Twitch, you have a problem. I hate to say it to anybody. If you're trying to grow on Twitch, you're going to fail. You have to grow your name simply outside of Twitch. Social media, YouTube, TikTok, untapped potential on TikTok, so much untapped potential, and grow your name. One of the reasons why I had a little bit of a head start was because I was a caster. I already had a name. If you already have a name to you, it's easier to stream. And also you have to build your name before you start finding success in Twitch. And that's real. Like that's real talk right there. If you're streaming, 12, 16 hours a day and nothing else, you're going to be very upset because it's not like a sales job. You put in 110%, you're going to get 110%. No, it's not like that. Right. You can put 110% and legitimately get 8% back. Work smart. Not even joking. Yep. Like you gotta work smart. Yeah, you gotta work smarter, not harder. But I kind of went left, right, and center.
No, you're good, man.
Things are going great. And I'm truly blessed. I do what I love as a full-time job. Every day I wake up and
crazy feeling,
I get to hang out with some really cool people. I get to play video games. I get to talk about video games. And it's something that I never in a million years would have thought that I'd be doing as a full-time job. And it's been absolutely crazy. And I think you actually had asked me where I think it's been 3 years. And I think I might end up being a small fish in a big pond again.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I talk about it: Forge, file share, battle royale, and quality of life improvements. Those 4 things, and Halo can have a giant resurgence, the likes of Apex in season 9 kind of thing. You might see a steady trend when Forge comes in. It's gonna be nice, but once there's gonna be a certain point where you can see a giant spike in that graph, and it might be the same thing. It might be I might end up a small fish in a big pond because there's a chance that Halo Infinite might explode. And I got some big goals myself. Let me tell you, man. I love that. I want to hit that partner. I want to average X amount of viewers. I want to be the #1 Halo streamer on Twitch. I want to average 500 viewers. I want to get to the point where pros are hitting me up and say, I want to play with you.
I love
and I'm saying,
That's
sure.
Awesome.
Let's come on by. But with that, if you're gonna come in and you're gonna enjoy you're gonna come into my realm. Now I'm gonna get something out of you. I'm gonna interview you.
There you go.
We're gonna be grinding games. We're gonna be grinding, do our thing, and after a big win, I'm gonna come in like, let's go. I'm gonna get hype over you. Like, I'm gonna get freaking hype. It's gonna be 500, 1,000, 2,000 people in the chat. We're gonna be spamming emotes, and I'm gonna come in like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah, right. That's perfect. That's awesome.
You come into my dojo at that point. It's all all hell breaks loose. But I got some big goals, and I see myself doing something like that. I'm sorry, Ty, I went like all over the place. I didn't prepare.
No, I love it. I think it's.
How about yourself?
Yeah, so I got to kind of harp on some of the things you said because I think they're very important. I'm a little different. I've been in the content creation industry for 8 years, making content on Twitch primarily. And I've kind of learned something most recently that there's this guy, and I'm sorry, I forgot his name. It's escaping me, but He's very good in terms of statistics and just the way trends are looking with Twitch mostly and with YouTube and streaming mostly. He actually runs an organization. I can't believe the name's escaping me, but Devin Nash. I got it. So it took me a little bit. Devin Nash. So actually just watched a video of his today. It's 23 minutes long. It explains that Twitch is literally completely evolving again, and it has over the 8 years. It's very tough to keep up with because things change, not only things that are kind of intangible things, things that you just don't see change as well. The way the chat interaction works, the way the chat interacts, the way donations and the way all of that stuff works, everything is changing completely. But now Twitch is actively changing something completely, and that is the way viewer count works and also the way ads work. So viewers, as a default, you get pushed to the homepage of Twitch and you get a recommended feed. And that recommended feed has nothing, zero to do with your view count. Absolutely nothing. And I think this has a lot to do with your growth, Tony, too, because of this. One of the big factors in that you getting pushed to that recommended feed on someone's page is, number one, if they watch the game you're playing, obviously Halo. Number two, your chat is on fire. And something I think that you do very well, and I'm going to give you full credit on this, is that you ask a question in your title. And what that does is it literally brings chat interaction and brings conversations to the chat the minute someone gets in there. And they show you, hey, I want to talk about this. And then you spark conversation about something, either a very big topic or maybe a topic that's a hot take, something like that. Like I've seen you bring up like food choices and stuff like that. But this new recommended feed, it's been around for a little while now, but I just learned how it worked today. It goes off of that. It goes off of, how many viewers you're getting at a time. That's number one. So you got to keep people in and keep them there while other people come in. That's one. The chat interaction is another. How fast your chat is moving. Are people talking a lot? Is there a lot? And like you could have 20 viewers, 30 viewers and get put on that and spike up. And if you keep that, they'll keep you on there longer. It's crazy. Like, we've seen the likes of YouTube do stuff like this. The YouTube recommended page is the biggest page to get on if you're a content creator and you want to grow. That's why our YouTube videos are doing so well with the HCS Source, is because we're getting put on recommended. That's probably why your videos are doing really well on your channel, is because you're getting put on recommended. Recommended is huge, and it kind of gives people a chance to grow. Now, again, what Tony says is very important. This kind of rule with the recommended really only works for, like, I would say 40 plus viewers. But what Tony said about going on YouTube, making sure that you're putting content in other places. Devin Nash actually talks, and I really think this guy's very intelligent when it comes to this. He's done a lot of research on this. Like I said, he owns like an agency that takes care of content creators. One of the things that he said is you should only focus on one. So focus on Twitch, and then have YouTube. That's your one. And then once YouTube starts to grow, then you branch off and do TikTok. I don't fully agree with it. The reason I don't fully agree with it is because you can literally double down. Like, you can take your YouTube shorts or whatever, put them on TikTok, and you're doubling up, right? It's just easy. Like, a lot of people take their VODs from Twitch and put them on YouTube. You're doubling up. So I don't fully agree. But I think maybe only focusing on like Twitch as a primary and then maybe YouTube, TikTok would be great. I don't think going to a million of them, I think you'll just get burnt out in my opinion. But again, that's to be said. For me personally, I kind of went on a tangent there, but for me personally, I think that my stream is struggling a lot right now, and it's because I haven't found myself either. And I'm trying to go back to the roots of what I used to be in terms of like a really funny, not a funny stream. Well, I guess I was kind of funny. I was really goofy. I don't want to be the person I was back then, because I hate the person I was back then. I was a very different, childish person. I just don't like who I was. But, bringing some of the qualities of that, like, when I'm playing really hard and I'm playing very competitive, I'm also having fun. And that I think is what made me, I was a very big streamer back in the day in Halo 5. I was averaging 2,000 viewers a day when Halo 5 first launched. It was insane. Oh, yeah, and as Halo 5 died, I died with it because I didn't know how to sustain a brand. I didn't know how to step up my branding. I didn't know anything about YouTube. I didn't know it, so I just lost everyone. It's like I have this big follower number, 50K. I think it's 58K now, but I don't have anyone because I never learned how to keep those people. I've gotten hosted from Summit. I've gotten hosted. Tim the Tabman used to host me like twice a month. Like these are big names that knew who I was at that time and used to host me and help me, and I did nothing with it. Like I completely squandered it. So because I didn't know. So like the number one tip I can give that Tony didn't give, so a little bit added extra value, is do research. Like watch videos from Devin Nash. He's got a lot to say and he's got a lot of knowledge on this stuff. Watch videos of different people if you don't want to just follow one. Get the knowledge of how to do these things and what steps to take so you're working smart and not just hard. You can work hard, but you also have to work smart or else your work is for nothing. I almost say, like, I've been on this journey for 8 years, but in those years, I made a lot of great friends. I had a lot of support. I got carried by my community. I had probably one of the most supportive communities on Twitch. Like, just to be completely transparent, in 2015, I made $90,000 on Twitch. Like, I had a really good year, okay? Like, that's not the way it is nowadays, but it's not about the viewers. It's about the community that you foster. And my community was having so much fun. We had so many cool ideas. And so me right now, I'm trying to get back to the part where I'm having more fun and just, being competitive, but also having fun as well. And then hopefully with casting as well, I'll be in a good spot. So in 3 years, I'd like to be solidified to kind of on stream, kind of make it a fun thing where I kind of do whatever. We do a little Halo and then we switch off and do something fun or whatever. And then also be like a full-time Halo commentator where that's my thing. That's like my main thing. And then streaming is the other thing that I do as well. So that's my kind of goal. But content creation's hard, man. Like Tony said, it's up and down. And you ride those highs where you're like, wow, dude, stream's going so well. And oh my gosh, my viewer count is really good. Interaction's really good. Everyone's talking. And then you have the mega lows, which, to be completely transparent, I'm in one of those mega lows right now where, chat is dead most of the time. I'm not being funny maybe, or I'm not, I'm getting really tilted very easily on Halo. And it's just like, my family needs me and this is my job. So it's kind of like the stress kind of circles around, just to be fully transparent. It just circles and circles and circles. And, okay, I'm not performing. And now, because of that, I'm not doing as well, et cetera, et cetera. So it's an up and down roller coaster. You gotta, when you're on the low end of the roller coaster, you gotta know that you're gonna be up at some point. Like, you're not always gonna stay down. There's gonna be a point where you start to rise, you start to figure things out, but it's about being smart about it. It just, that's the way it goes. That's the way everything goes. It's not just in gaming. It's not just in streaming and content creation. Roller coasters are everywhere. It's just, it seems like in content creation, they're a lot more volatile, I would say is the right word. It's not like that steady job that you would, get somewhere else. But the one thing I will say is, regardless of, in these 8 years, being really sad and sometimes not being able to sleep, sometimes crying, like, being in those situations of a lot of stress and et cetera, et cetera. I quit my job 8 years ago. I would never change that decision. I will never go back to that job. I love this. I love content creation. I love Halo. Halo's in a rough spot right now, but I know it's going to get better. All of this has really strengthened my mental, and so I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for Forge. I'm excited for Battle Royale. It's gonna be great. Like, I got my duo right here, right next to me. We're gonna slay out in Battle Royale. We're gonna go into duos and just win every single game. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna have to get a masseuse, like I always talk about. I might as well just hire one to be here right behind me at all times. But very excited about what's coming, and it's gonna be great. But Tony, I will say, just to kind of touch on, I'm very impressed with your success on Twitch and being so consistent. I actually went on your stream yesterday and I thought this to myself. I was like, I want to watch Tony right now. And I was like, he's definitely on. Like, there's no shot he's not on. I go and you're on. and it's not, that's such a big deal, because like, I put myself in the viewer's shoes. I want to watch Tony right now, and there you are. But like, because of my life and because of like how busy I've made my life and stuff like that, and things that come up or whatever, I miss days, and that's just kind of where I am because I have kids and stuff. I miss days. But like, you're doing, like, I'm so impressed with how you've stayed consistent every single day at the same time. You've stayed consistent on who you are as a person in stream. You're not different. You're always the same person every day. And I'm impressed with your growth, and on YouTube as well. Your YouTube is doing great as well. So. Just want to kind of say that I'm very impressed with what you've done and how fast you've grown, because it's awesome. I'm really happy for you.
I appreciate it. The rising tides. What do they say? Tides rise, all ships. I think it is. So I mean, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be you. It's gonna be all of us. And it's been a great journey, to be honest with you. And most of the time, I call my streams the active waiting room, because we have to say, like, I feel like it was your viewership would come into my chat, and then because I would stream from like 10 o'clock in the morning, and then maybe like cut off at 3 or 4 o'clock, then you come off like at one point at 5 p.m. and it was like, okay, well, then they just funnel over to you afterwards.
You've got a lot of different people in there now I've never seen before. It's great. It's just great to see, honestly.
It's been incredible. It really has been.
So we've got to go into now some topics, and we're going to talk about
Halo.
We're going to talk about Halo. We're going to talk about what we're here for. We wanted to go into that a little bit, so anyone that's kind of jumping into Halo content creation, you've got a little bit of just a way to kind of enter in, and kind of just I think Halo's a great place to grow right now, especially right now. Like, it's almost like getting into Bitcoin when it was really cheap. I feel that way.
Hell yeah. I
could be wrong. I feel that way. I feel like you invest right now, like you're doing some big things. Like Tony says, like, oh, I'm a small fish. No, Tony at this point is not a small fish anymore. He's going to grow with Halo Infinite growing. It's not going to be like that. Like, you're going to grow when Halo Infinite grows. And I think if anyone wants to create content and you like Halo, and maybe content creation is something that you think you'd like to do, I think you should do it. Now, don't go into it.
Can I just throw in one thing with that?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead. Yeah.
There's other games that are very popular and so saturated.
Oh yeah.
They I cast Apex, so I know a lot of the higher tier Apex players, and I know a lot of like the mid tier Apex players. And there's players out there that are former #1 Preds, top 10 Predator players, top 10 in the world and ranked, on top of doing scrims and doing everything they have to do. Like, they're grinding, and they get like 20, 30 viewers.
Oh yeah, dude.
Bro. Like,
that used to happen.
Tough,
that used to happen in League of Legends. I started streaming with League of Legends back in the day. I was still a Halo fan back then. My first ever stream was on Justin.tv. It was Halo 3. But I started my streaming career with League of Legends. And same thing. We're talking Challenger players. And Challenger is like, I would say Challenger, no offense to Apex players, I would say Challenger is tougher than Predator. Just because of the fact that they're like, people, they pull, I don't know how to explain it. Like, they'll pull challengers to the LCS, to like the pro leagues, because they're like Challenger top 10. Like Challenger, I used to read up on it because I wanted to be Challenger. Challenger takes like 10, 12 hours a day of grinding and just like understanding the game on every level. It is incredible. But that's the same thing. There are Challenger players with 10 viewers back then, and I'm over there back in the day, 2014, averaging like 50 viewers. And I'm like, above some Challenger players. I actually got some Challenger players to teach me stuff because of my viewer count. Nice. So you're right. You're absolutely right. Sorry to cut you off.
No. I just wanted to insert that in, but yeah. So just to double down on what you said, I think Halo's a phenomenal game to grow.
Oh yeah.
Because you get yourself 8 viewers, and you're already on the first page right now. Well, at certain times in the morning times, I guess I stream a different time than you do. But still, like, I think it's a great game for you to grow.
I agree.
And build an audience. And even if it's not where you want to be long term, it's still a good place to start your content creation journey. And again, you never know. As it starts to blow up, maybe you just come along with it. Your audience stays, and you never know. I'm sorry, I just wanted to double down on what you were saying before. Go on.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah, I mean, anyone that's entering it, I would definitely do it. I mean, like I said, don't go into it with the thought of it being a full-time job, please. I did that 8 years ago because Twitch was a very different place and I was an idiot. But I don't know how the hell it worked out, but it did. I just wouldn't do that. Like, don't go in with that mindset. Go in having fun. Don't go in to try to make money. Go in to have fun with it and just see if people like who you are, and just be yourself, because you might not think being yourself is the right way to do it, but there's only one of you. And a lot of people might like that person. There's quiet people like Lyric, who like are very quiet and like, kind of low energy. There's really high energy people like Soda Poppin' used to be. There's all different types of streamers. Just be you. Be who you are, and that's it. Anyway, I want to go on to Halo because that's what the podcast is about. I like to talk about content creation all day long because I freaking love it. But we got to talk about the Open, the most previous Open. It's actually going to continue tomorrow, and I believe I'll be casting it. I believe Tony will be too on the LVT channel. But I want to talk about the top 8 teams that were able to be that are in the Open and have made it through that Open series. And we'll start off with United. Then we got Complexity, Space Station, Proton Gaming, which is Fantasy, Haynes, Posey, Rob the Turtle. We've got Native Gaming, who have picked up Aperture, and that's King J, Mines, Piggy. We've got Forbidden Fruit with Envor, Hysteria, Carmea, Tony Two-Turn. Rebellion with the Gears of War players, Cherish, Mental, Precision, and Explosive. And then Anime Demon 2, Burton, Hotshot, Mortally, and Parzelli. The bottom 4 that I just talked about are in the elimination bracket. The top 4 I talked about are in the upper winners bracket of this tournament tomorrow. So it's going to be a very, very fun tournament. And I want Tony and I to kind of go through and just talk about these different teams, talk about what we think about them, etc. And I want to also touch on a couple, one other team I think we're going to talk about who didn't make this top 8 that we really need to talk about because they're a partnered org and they're struggling heavily. So let's start off, Tony. Just talk about some teams that maybe shine to you in this top 8 and talk about why they're so good in your opinion.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, right off the rip, United. I think there was a lot of questions surrounding where United would be after Spartan ended up leaving, and obviously King Nick gets traded out for Manny, and arguably maybe a little bit lesser, I guess I want to say, proven player than King Nick. I would say because King Nick goes way back since Halo 1. Right. So there was a lot of questions surrounding United, and the fact that they've been able to, which I talked about before, I think they're following the same blueprint. Manny, swing player, just like King Nick. Suspector, a slayer, similar to Spartan. Now, are they the same players as they were before? No. But is it a similar blueprint or formula? You surround Ryan Noob and Rain with those players and they're going to find success? Yes. And then on top of that, Ryan Noob and Rain are playing like superstars. Nice. Like Ryan Noob has always been known as the IGL, but such an underrated slayer. Like he's been doing this for a while. He was a free-for-all phenom. And then Rain as well. Like I hear like one of the most underrated players, best communication in the game from what I'm hearing. And you have United that are doing phenomenal. Complexity, seemingly finding fire as well. It's almost like a half Luminosity, half Complexity roster. They play fast. They play good Halo. Nothing to complain about Complexity at all. And I think they continue to get better and better with the duo of Monster and Vetra joining them. Neuronical and Psycho, former teammates of Vetra back in the day. Space Station Gaming. I'm big on the roster. Collect suppressed Tylenol. 3-headed monsters. You got suppressed high damage output. Collect fast, decisive, swing player. Tylenol. God help me, I'm pretty sure I've never seen him go negative in my entire life. The man plays on 8.5 sensitivity and is 360 around while going plus at a 1.7 KD. And then when Ace pops off, I keep saying it time and time again. If you're playing Ace first thing in the morning, you're done for. Ace is the best player in the world in the first series of a tournament. Yeah. He just is. He touched grass. He drank his secret liquid juice. He's out here meditating. He's floating on top of his chair. Ace is legitimately the most dangerous player in the first series ever. No, seriously. No, Ace has been stepping up big time in the slays as well. Yeah. And it's incredible. And I'm big on Space Station Gaming. And where G1 are at right now, where Pioneers were at, that's when I saw SSG. I was like, okay, that's the new Pioneers. That's the new Dark Horse squad. That's where G1 are at, where they can upset anybody in the tournament, play well against anybody on any given Sunday. Maybe not consistently win. But I'm talking about who can legitimately upset some of the big four. That's why I thought SSG are. So when I say that SSG are slightly underperforming, it's not based on what, 'cause I think they're playing great. I really do. I mean, they've had some ups and downs, but I think they're playing great. But my expectations are through the roof for them, and that might be on me.
No, I don't think it's just on you. I think we all kind of feel that way. Yeah.
So I'm over here. Watch out for SSG. I like Native Gaming. Dude, Piggy and King J go together, and Abitur's a big pickup for them. Mine's always playing well. Like Native Gaming sneakily are really good.
Abitur needed a squad like this. I really, truly, like, he hasn't had a squad this top tier in a long time, and in every squad he's been on, I think he was on Complexion's squad at one point. Like, he just performs really well. And you know,
he was on Torrent at some for a while too.
Torrent as well. Yeah, I think both. Yeah, so Torrent, and then most recently the Gunplexion squad. I forgot exactly. It was Gunplexion. Yeah,
it's maybe Too Nice and Stand Paradigm, something
yes,
like that.
Yes, exactly. And then they did really well. I think Abitur, this is his first time being on a squad like this. And I think that this squad could go really far. But if you don't mind, Tony, I want to rewind to one of the squads that you
sorry, please.
So I want to go to Proton Gaming, which is one of the squads that we didn't get the chance to talk about. I just want to talk about them, and then you can go to Native again. Proton Gaming, they actually, which is very interesting here, they 2-0'd Fnatic, who we're going to talk about, by the way. We got to talk about Fnatic and the state of Fnatic right now.
Talk about Fnatic.
We're going to talk a lot about Fnatic and the state of them and what's going on. And, you know, I've got some inside stuff that, you know, talking to Kojo, the manager, I can't reveal it all, but I still want to kind of talk. I like the direction they're going in, and I can't talk about what that direction is. And yeah, that's right. That's me 100% just showing off right now. But I do want to talk about what I think about the roster that did play in the open, and kind of just, you know, talk about what I thought was wrong and stuff like that. But let's go to Proton. Proton, actually, they beat Fnatic, and then they actually beat Ness & Co., who 2-1'd Oxygen Esports. And we're talking about the Oxygen Esports that, like, competed with Cloud9 in that last ESA tournament, in a sense. They were in the grand finals. They had the reset, right, Tony? You casted it. I didn't get to watch it.
Phase 2.
Right. So we're talking about an Oxygen Esports that is very good. I mean, this squad is a very solid squad. And Ness & Co. beat them. Ness & Co. is going to be Leader Ness, Breaking Shot, Native, and Crossfade. So very interesting squad. You know, you don't hear much of those guys very, very often. But Proton ended up beating them. Proton, I really like this squad, and I might have a little bit of bias here because of the fact that a lot of these players are, you know, those Halo 3 goats. And then you got Rob the Turtle, who, you know, I was confusing him with Triton, Tony. I kept saying that Triton was going to retire, and this and that, and you know, was going to play for fun. He got off Complexity, was going to play for fun, blah, blah, blah. And Triton, Rob the Turtle, actually messaged me and said, no, you're getting that confused with me. I'm the one who left Complexity, was going to retire and play for fun. He says the game, you know, basically said the game was like, it's not treating him well. What were you going to say, Tony?
Well, Triton also left Complexity because he told me personally that he wanted to play with his friends and he wanted to have fun again.
Okay, so
Triton
right.
Triton literally told me the exact same thing. I can pull up if you want me to read word for word.
No, it was right then. Yeah, okay, good.
So go on.
Because I brought that up so many times, and then he messaged me, DM me, he's like, dude, I think you're thinking of me, and I was like, okay, I mean, fine, yeah.
Both. Go have fun. Have fun.
Both of them should just create a team and just have fun. But Rob the Turtle, we used to make a lot of jokes about him. Not jokes, but like, he was disgusting, and we used to always say like Rob the Turtle snapping his competition, like stuff like that. But he's on this squad, so it's Rob the Turtle, Posey, Haynes, and Fantasy, and I believe Posey, Halo 3 guys. I know Fantasy and Haynes were Halo 3 guys. Like, we're talking MCC Halo 3, and they were disgusting. My word, these kids were great. So to see them in this top 8, very happy for them. They beat, you know, Ness & Co., who beat Oxygen. I don't know how they're going to do against, you know, the 8 that are here, because there's a really good group of 8 teams here, but we'll have to see tomorrow.
Winners bracket.
Right, and they're in the winners bracket too, so very interesting. Yeah. But I love this native gaming roster, Tony. I think Abitur is phenomenal. I think he's going to fit so well.
I mean, they're that good. They really are. You know, and with Proton Gaming, Haynes, formerly Oxygen Esports, Posey, who's in the Air Force as well. Thank you for
that's
your
awesome.
service.
Thank you for the service. Yeah.
Fantasy, like I said, former Halo 3 kid, and Rob the Turtle, he's nasty, man. I will talk about Forbidden Fruit because I think they're Forbidden Fruit are good, man.
They are really
Envoy
good.
and Tony Tutor, bro. That like I've talked to Envoy. He's like, yo, Tony's my duo. And I love it. Like they're full of passion. Tony is a masterclass trash talker, will get under your skin.
Oh, absolutely.
Anvar will make a play or even see one of his teammates make a play and he'll yell, he'll shout. He's powerful. Has a powerful voice that goes along with it when he gets like that. And I will say, I thought Arctic was amazing. He was on the roster at one point, I want to say, and then eventually I saw him playing with Fnatic. Hysteria obviously still got it. Like it continues to impress me how this man just exits the retirement home, and it comes in for these random open tournaments, and somehow is able to destroy people.
He doesn't even play. Like every time I go on Twitch, he's playing Pokemon. He's like ripping
up
practice. That doesn't make sense to me. He's just so good. He just like I'm seeing him ripping up a pack of Pokemon cards. I got this pull, and then he goes and he plays like he's been. I don't understand. I hate naturally talented.
Some people use Aim Lab, some people use Pokemon. You get with it, buddy.
Oh, my
bad.
Carmia's
phenomenal. Like I said, Rebellion's great. 4 more Gears of War players. I think Precision's actually from Call of Duty. I could be wrong about that.
Okay.
I'm a huge Mental fan. I think Cherish is great. He formerly Cherish formerly Apex actually.
That's crazy.
Cherish is the Apex kid.
They're all over the place. My goodness.
And then you have Anime Demons, who upset SSG during the first qualifier for the NA Super, going to Game 5 and able to take them out, which was huge. And I was Hotshot Ghost is dude. Hotshot Ghost is the real deal.
He is.
Bird's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Mortally and Parzell. Like when I saw this squad, I looked at them. I was like, oh, okay, they're interesting free agents that came together. Little did I know that they're a legitimate team, and I think they kind of command respect. So them making it out to the top 8, even upsetting a lot of other rosters, like you said, including Fnatic, was huge for them.
I kind of want to talk about Anime Demon because we constantly harp, and I don't blame you, by the way. We constantly harp on that one series they had where they took that game to a Game 5 against Space Station Gaming, and Mortally went 20-10. I'll never forget it because it was the biggest upset of that tournament, in my opinion. But we've got to point out once again, in the Open Series, the reason they're at the elim bracket on the bottom center of this of the 4 here is because Space Station Gaming 2-0'd them, and Space Station Gaming also beat them in a previous tournament as well. What were you gonna say?
I'm sorry. I'm not giving SSG a freaking cookie for bringing Anime Demons.
I'm not trying to give them a cookie. I think it's good.
I'm hard on SSG because my expectations for them are through the roof.
Oh, so am I. Yeah. But this team is good, Tony.
I'm not giving them a freaking cookie for being animated. Good. You know what? You also should be Rebellion. You also should be Forbidden Fruit.
They
you should beat me in
matchmaking.
Congratulations. A pat on your back. I'll kick you out the door.
I just think it goes to show like how much they've grown. In my opinion, I think like losing to that squad in a Game 5 now,
Sure.
Twice in a row they've beaten them. I think this Anime Demon squad, who gives a like, we gotta put this partner crap out the window, bro. Okay, I understand there's partner teams, but there are obviously some unpartnered teams that are better than some partner teams, and Anime Demon definitely has players on that squad, especially Hotshot Ghost and Mortally, that are incredible, like absolutely incredible.
But what are they getting in the tournament? You put them in. What are they getting? What
is Space Station getting in the tournament? What is
Anime
Fnatic
Demons getting past top 12 in
what's Fnatic
top
getting?
12 in Orlando?
What's Fnatic getting? What's Space Station getting? Like they're good. That's
okay. Well, that's my thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Expectations for SSG. SSG should be walking to these tournaments guaranteed top 12.
Just because they're partnered? That's not.
Because they're a freaking good squad. Because you got Collect, Suppress, Tyler on Ace. This squad should their potential is walking in guaranteed top 12,
I get that,
fighting for top 8 and going for top 6.
So
that's what they should be.
FaZe's potential is winning every tournament based on the players that they have on their team. The players
Anime
don't
Demons
matter.
don't have SSG. Like I don't look at. I'm sorry. I don't look at Anime Demons. I love Anime Demons. I don't look.
I understand that. No, I get it. I don't look at Anime Demons and say they can be Space Station Gaming every time. I just made the point because I feel like Space Station is starting to actually act like a partnered org again. And I agree, this squad is good. I think the Ace is finally catching stride with Halo Infinite. I think the Collect is maybe getting, maybe playing more comfortably on the squad. Everyone in the comms seems okay. They're not like, I don't know. They seem a lot better at the moment, and that's where I kind of see like the contrast of where they were losing that Game 5 to now. Now they're, twice in a row, they've 3-0'd and 2-0'd Anime Demon. I think that's great.
Where do you have them finish at Orlando? If they're playing their best Halo, where do you have them finish Orlando?
At Orlando, their best, like they're playing their absolute best. It all depends on how everyone else plays, but I would say at least top 8. At least. I don't put them much higher. I don't put them top 6. I don't put them top 4.
So can I just respond by saying, if you legitimately have them playing at their best, getting top 8, which I believe that if they're playing at their best, I think they could upset and get top 6 and maybe even top 4. Because I think they're playing at their best, they could upset one of the Elite 4. But that's tough. And we'll go, there's levels to this. If they're playing at their best, getting top 8, and Anime Demons are playing at their best and getting top 12, then arguably they should run into Anime Demons. Again, I'm saying Anime Demons at their apex ain't top 12. I think maybe top 16. If SG are playing at 90% and Anime Demons are playing at 90% the same percent, I think Anime Demons are top 16 and SG are top 8. So that's what I'm saying. They should consistently beat out Anime Demons. They should consistently beat out Rebellion. They should consistently beat out Native Gaming. They should I'm saying if that's where we're at with SSG, that's why I'm just good that they beat Anime Demons. You should have beaten the first time too.
The first point you made, I agree with. Space Station playing at 100%, they get top 8. 100%, they get top 8. Anime Demon playing at 100%, they get top 12. I put them closer in that regard. I don't think Anime Demons is a top 16 team. I think they're better than that. Just based off of the individual young talent on that squad. Parzelli's even disgusting as well, and then Burton kind of holds it all together. I don't like Space.
I wonder. There's only 16 teams in the top 16. So I'm just letting you know. Complexity has something to say about that.
I get it.
KCP has something to say. I can spit off a bunch of names.
Casey who?
I'm sorry, but I'm saying there's a bunch of names out there that are sitting there. You got to go through in order to get to that echelon. But I'm sorry. I will.
Don't apologize.
I'll let it rest on that one. But
there's no apology needed here. I agree with you. I just think that SSG. To me, is a great squad on paper, just like FaZe is a great squad on paper, but that there's obviously something consistently missing. And I will admit they've had a very difficult road. Starting at Raleigh, it was a horrible road for them. Like, being in a game 5 and just getting a disconnect, I believe it was, and then just that throwing go watch the documentary. You guys need to watch the documentaries if you haven't already. Go watch these team documentaries. They're great. They kind of explain the story. With Collect and Suppress being on the team, I expected more after seeing that Pro Series run that they had. Like, they were competing against some of the best teams, and I kind of want to see that side of them again, but I don't think we're going to see that side of them again. I think, I don't know. I don't think we're going to see better than top 8, but maybe I could be proven wrong here. I mean, G1 got second place in the Super. Like, this game is the most competitive Halo, period. End of story. Trust me, I was there in Halo 2. I was there for Halo 3. This game is the most competitive in terms of everyone is so close. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk Fnatic here, because I think we agree on this point. With Fnatic just not looking good at all. And let's talk about what they need. What do you think Fnatic needs to do in order to get to the point where they are a partnered squad that's placing like a partnered squad? What do you think needs to happen? Because right now, they're like the old SSG from back in the day where they're kind of like, oh, they're partnered, but, And I don't put any fault on the management. I don't put any fault on the coaches. Something's up here, but what do you think it is, Tony?
Well, before I answer the question, I want to open up to the chat, and I want to open up a Q&A. Oh, to the chat. Put your questions right now.
Let's do it.
We're already 50 minutes into the show, and it's apparent to me that we're going to have to cut off some of our show. Mainly because of me. I went on a tangent and whatnot, which, by the way, I'm going to have you name 16 top teams because I don't think you're thinking of the G2s, the KCPs, the what for that. We going to talk about that later. I'm going to have you name 16 teams. We gonna discuss that.
I'm down.
Either way, we're talking about Fnatic though.
Mm-hmm.
And
what do you think needs to be done with this squad? What do you think that they need to do to stop performing like crap? Okay, we'll just put it plainly.
Yeah, I want to premise this by saying that I was huge on the Fnatic roster, just like I was huge on the KCP roster, and I even put them in similar boats. I still had to put KCP above them, but I had Fnatic on like a tier below them. If KCP walking into the door was top 8, at that point Fnatic would walk into the door top 12, and then it would KCP consistently try to fight for top 6, and so on and so forth. That's how I ranked them. Fnatic have tried different things. I mean, and they benched a zero for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They drop Envor. Now you're dropping Super CC. And I hate to be that guy because I love the players. But my thing is like, you have Septify,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have 3 great forts to a team. And I want to be perfect on this. Is just my opinion.
That was good.
And I want to say this is just my opinion. And you can disagree, and anybody else can disagree with me. I never try to spin my opinion like fact. But if you added Rami to a fourth of a squad, that's a great squad. If you add just 0 to a fourth of a squad, that's a great squad. We have already got there, like you have Septify, and you have 3 great forts as a team. And I'm not mad at that because I think they're great players. I think they're high IQ players. I think they really are capable players. But we haven't seen results. And it's been looking bad. It's gotten worse. It's looked abysmal. It's scary. Honestly, if they sat there and said we're gonna blow up the squad right now, I mean, would you be surprised?
No, I keep Septify, but I blow up the rest.
But based on their results,
Yeah.
it's tough. They dropped their coach too, by the way, on top of Super CC.
Yeah.
And I like this. I like Fnatic a lot, and I want them to figure it out. They're bringing a new coach. You got Arctic coming in, and hopefully, you hopefully turn it around. And the worst part about it is that Arctic is coming into Fnatic, and he's on a freaking clock. I thought Arctic just walks in, and he's on the same clock as everybody else because they need to turn it around quick.
Yeah, they got Orlando, and that, you say he's on a clock. I don't think he's on a clock anymore. I think he's clocked out at this point.
The whole damn team is on a clock.
Yeah, they're clocked out at this. I think Arctic is clocked out at this point. It obviously didn't work. What happens next is unknown. I don't know. Maybe they keep Arctic and they remove. Everyone had a bad open tournament. Everyone
call Shady.
Everyone had a bad open, in my opinion, except for Septify. Septify was the only one, in my opinion, that performed in that open and showed that he deserved to be on that squad. And I don't like to be hard like this because, these guys are getting paid, potentially, will get paid salaries, and this is, but we gotta speak facts here. I mean, they lost to Proton Gaming 0-2, and I don't even believe the games are close. This is not a partner, like, this is a partnered org. Like this, Fnatic is ginormous. Okay, we've got to really talk about that. Fnatic is huge. They don't want top 12. They don't want top 8. They don't want top 6. These guys want first. Everyone wants first, but they're not going to be happy with anywhere outside of the top 8. And they only have Orlando. And if they don't perform at Orlando, goodbye world. See ya. There's got to be massive changes here. And it sucks that I gotta say it again because I don't understand what the frick's going on. Halo Data Hive, where are you? Please, I can't keep up with all the scrims, especially if they're not on stream. So can we get that? Can we please get that back? I need it. But I don't know how they're doing right now. I don't know who they're trialing. No idea. But I agree. I think Septify. I think if I had to pick a player to stay, it would be Septify. I don't know who's available to coach. I'm not sure on any of that stuff. I actually do know, but I can't say. I think that this squad right here though is gonna need to really change pretty much everything in order to get stuff going. And you said it. That was perfect. I will agree with you for once. I think that you said it perfectly in the fact that there's Septify and 3/4. 3-4 like last player on a team to kind of knit it together type situation.
And
going
that's
on.
not bad. Like you have glue players that
Right.
are phenomenal and have great careers because of what they bring to the table. Rain is a phenomenal glue player right now in his career. Ace is a glue player. Like every team at this point, I would say, Penguin is a glue player.
Mm-hmm.
Like every team has those glue players, and I feel like Fnatic have 3 of them. Which again, and it's not a shot at them.
Right.
I don't want that to be confused as a shot. I hope they go into scrims They figure out what they need, and hopefully they find success because they're great guys.
The scary part,
they're great guys and great players.
the scary part is you know, you can do all these things where you go on a scrim and we just replace blah 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 with blah blah blah, and they're playing so well in this scrim, but then we get to an event and that scrim was a honeymoon stage. So honeymoon stages happen all the freaking time. They happen in relationships, they happen in Halo all the time, and you don't know unless you stick it out if that team is going to work out. But the honeymoon stage kind of sets the precedent for the squad and says, okay, hey, you're playing this well. This is how well you can play in that type of like beginning stage of a team. Maybe that can be something you can carry on further. Obviously, teams like FaZe haven't had that type of stage, but are still working through it because like those are 4 capable players that, as difficult as it's going to be, can change their play style and have multiple play styles and are hybrid in the sense that their game knowledge is that high up that they can change things, with work and with just consistent effort. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I think that I've got some things that whatever that I know of, and I've talked to Kojo to try to help him as well, and I think that he's got a really good idea. And something about Kojo that I say is I think he's a great manager. A lot of people do not think he's very good, but I think he's amazing. So that being said, we have to now go into the questions on the stream. Now we're gonna do this a little bit differently here, okay? The questions on the stream are going to be separate from the podcast. So basically, it's going to be like a bonus episode, I think. And that's going to be really, really fun. So I'm not sure how we're going to work it yet, but I do want to really quickly let you say goodbye to the podcast end of things, Tony, and then I will close it out, and then we'll move over to the Q&A.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. We had some other topics that we wanted to line up, like, United playing in the Open, which I think is phenomenal. I love the fact that they're getting practice. Even Cloud9 playing one of the esports arena Opens. I think that was great. And we're not be able to do a deep dive into that, sadly, because I feel like we are running against the clock. But I think we had some fun. And I will say I'm going to press Tim on a top 16 because we going to have that discussion. We're going to have that fight, Tim.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's see it.
But I think this was a great show. I had a lot of fun. Chat was great. We have a lot of viewers in the chat right now. We're going to continue to do the Q&A. So, guys, make sure you guys ask questions right now. And we're going to talk about that. And thank you guys for stopping by. Come by. I stream every day, 10 o'clock in the morning. Put out YouTube content. Do 2 podcasts. And I personally love Halo. And I love spending time with you guys. And ask your questions.
Awesome, guys. We're gonna be doing the Q&A, so Twitch, don't go anywhere. But this was HCS Source episode 8. Make sure you sub to the Spotify as well as the YouTube. Make sure you check out the YouTube if you want to watch this back. Regardless, we'll see you next Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern live, and it will be uploaded on Spotify and YouTube tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. So check for it then. This is a great episode. We will catch you guys later.